we're making a mask like this that has a one piece of ribbon that you can pull through. It goes over the head, and then you can tighten it as much as you want to, and then it fits over the face like this. And then you just basically tie it in the back and probably over your ears so it'll stay on a little bit better. Okay, so it begins with a piece that is 9 by 14, and Dale cut out a board so that so cutting would be easy for a template, and then we just use this cutter. It's got a little safety thing on it, so you just zip it 9 by 13. And then we are taking long strips that are 4 inches wide with a coordinating fabric. It doesn't have to really coordinate, but just what I'm doing, it happens to coordinate. And then these are going to be the little side pieces. So you can see from the mask that this is for the side pieces. And what you do is, the best thing to do is make a long strip that's 4 inches, as long as you can cut, and then go ahead and serge the edges. Serge the 2 sides. And that way, all you have to do is just take your little measurement tool and measure 3 inches. And then you've got pieces out of that. So you don't have to serge individual pieces, but you've got little pieces like this. So you'll need 2 of these to go with each one. So, all right. So this is the 9 by 13 inch piece with, I serged the top and the bottom edges. And the reason that we're doing it this way is so that we can fold it in half, and there's a pocket. A lot of people are asking for a pocket that they can put a filter into. So when it's all finished, there's an open edge. And so then I'm just kind of ironing it flat, like they just fold it, wrong sides together, ironing it flat. And then I'm going to make 3 little tucks. And the best way to do this is, I think, if you want to go kind of quickly, just kind of eyeball it. So go across and make 1 little pleat. And then make another one, just so that they're even. They don't have to look the same, but just so the left and the right sides are even. So we'll do this. And then 1 more. And what you're trying to do, and this little measurement guide on my ironing board cover is really nice because I can measure it. Try to get this to come out to 3 inches. So your last tuck, you can kind of make your adjustments. And then you've got 3 inches. So it's folded like an accordion here. Okay. The pieces that are 3 by 4 inches, they're serged at the top and the bottom. Now what you're going to do is put right sides together and do it right on the front of this this little mask. And you want to be sure you've got some overlap. So the best way to do it, I think, is just to go put the do it so that you can see what you're doing. All right, this is really easy, and all you're doing is just kind of serging these together, just like that. All right, and then cut off the edges, and then now we'll go over to the ironing board. Now, I assume you've already done the second one. All right, so see what you've done. You've got right sides together. That's what's going to show. I just happen to have an emblem here on ours, so the cross and flame, but you don't have to have anything there. But so then this is where we do a lot of pressing. Press it down and then fold over the edges. You don't want any raw edges showing, even though you've got it serged. It's not the end of the world, but just tuck your edges down all the way around like that. Okay. And then fold this part down, and now you've got your casing, and it's ready to go. Okay, so now we're using the straight sewing machine, and I'm going to just sew it down, just one straight line. My sewing machine doesn't like to go through a lot of layers. It's a basic sewing machine, but just make sure that you kind of do your reverse stitch go all the way through it. And you make sure that you cover both sides so that there's no open places. All right, that's it. And then you just snip the edges. And then what you've got here is a casing.
So both sides is in that side and that side?
On the front and the back. You want to be sure you caught it all with your sewing. All right, we're still at our sewing machine. So assume that I've already sewn this other little casing on the side for the ribbon. Now what you're going to do is fold it. You've got the front part, fold it in half. And then you're going to want to just make a little dart at the bottom. So remember, the top is the open part and the bottom is closed. So what you do is just kind of put the pieces together like this, and it just doesn't have to be measured or anything, but you're just trying to help it fit the face a little bit better. So just go like this, and that's kind of hard to
triangle.
Yeah, it's like a 30-degree, something like that. Just a little dart, so that way you've got some that goes over your chin, and it kind of gives it a little bit more ability to fit. It needs to fit your face as tightly as possible. All right, this is a 1/4 inch ribbon. This is 5/8. Anything in between either of these or in between will work. You don't want it too thin, and your ribbon, it needs to be 52 inches long. All right, so cut piece of ribbon. Grosgrain works really well because it kind of holds on to itself a little bit better. You don't want it to be too slippery and the little bow come out. So then just take the end and put a little safety pin on the end of it and feed it from the top to the bottom, because your loop is at the bottom. And then just kind of feed that part through and bring it around and back up. So it's just one piece of ribbon for the whole thing. And that's it. Now, only thing you need to do is when you launder it, it could come out if it's too thin, but it's not the end of the world either. So tie a knot, and then take a match or a lighter and just kind of fuse that, melt the edges a little bit, and then it won't unravel when you wash it. So it should stand up to washing and hold up really well. So just wash it at the end of the day and you're good to go.